Welcome to the Alex and Jim Show, and today we're shooting from the Potsdamer Platz. I think I said that right.
Right. We're standing right now in front of the Potsdamer Platz, and just up there is the central, I guess, office of the Deutsche Bahn.
The administrative side of the Deutsche Bahn.
Exactly, of the German train, company. And that kind of brought us to the topic of talking about strikes and unions.
Germans love their unions.
We do have like strong unions actually. Whereas in the US, unions are kind of like, nah.
Reagan pretty much went, unions do play a big role in the U.S. still, like
in some parts.
In some parts, but for the most part, unions have lost their power in the U.S. Like in the 40s and even before that, unions played a big role. But I think it was '81. There's a huge strike with the air traffic controllers, and President Reagan, basically said, either you come back to work in 48 hours, or we're going to fire you. And he did. He fired over 11,000 people, and they brought in strike breakers and just brought in new people. And after that, the power of unions really have just kind of dissolved.
What a surprise. The president of the country is like, unions, nah, we're not going to do it. Whereas in Germany, there are many unions, and they have a lot of power. I mean, they're very influential, salary negotiations, all that stuff are happening all the time. And usually it's kind of a good interaction between the companies and between the unions, but there was this big exception. I would say an exception in 2007 when the Deutsche Bahn striked, and the CEO of the Deutsche Bahn, Hartmut Medorn, the CEO of the strike company, they had kind of like a personal issue.
Yeah, they really went at it.
And like over months there were strikes, and like it was totally chaos in the German infrastructure, the Deutsche Bahn system.
Well, didn't the union want like a 35% raise?
Yeah, they wanted a pretty high raise, and there was like both sides were just completely like, nah, we're not going to move in any direction.
So another difference in the U.S., unions they just kind of lost a lot of the power.
Basically, I had to laugh so bad when I heard that. If you're in a company and you enter a union, your employer can just fire you because you're in a union.
Right, they can just, if you form a union while working for an employer, they can be like, nah, no thank you.
But it's like in Germany, it will be huge outcry. What the fuck, he's going in union, you're gonna fire him? And I think it's all like in companies, like forbidden, that do not allow unions, it's forbidden to talk about unions, right?
Right, yeah, you can't, because then you're like conspiring to form a union and you can get fired. Now, like we said, there are exceptions, right? Like the airlines,
right. Police,
teachers,
right. And the automobile industry.
And well, see, that's a great example of why people in America are like, unions
doesn't work,
because like the automobile union, they wanted to help out their employees and
their members.
everything, but you see the state the automobile industry's in right now. I'm not saying it's the union's fault, but
it didn't work out well.
Yeah, it just in the end just didn't work out.
Right. Generally, the strikes and unions are like way more powerful in Europe. So a friend of mine from, that I went to school with, and she did like a year abroad in Paris.
Oh, this is good.
And in Paris, she was in the University of the Sorbonne, and so she was studying there. And at a certain point, like the professor started to strike, then the students started to strike. And I think the administration started to strike as well. So basically everybody who was kind of involved, except the politicians, they started to strike. And
it's like a 4-month ordeal, wasn't it?
I think even longer, but she didn't have university for, I think 4 months. Just hanging out, living life in Paris.
It's a hard life.
That's a year abroad I want to have too.
Yeah.
So going to Europe, if you're going to see a strike, it's, it's going to happen probably.
Yeah,
most
you're
likely.
probably going to see someone striking.
Buses are not going to go, aircrafts at hospitals are going to shut down, just, the normal stuff, everyday things. In the US, that usually doesn't happen. People just get fired if they strike. So, the two differences.
Y'all take it easy.
Cheers.
Do I have toothpaste on my mouth?
No. You don't. You don't.
Okay.
Just don't left.
I feel like I have toothpaste on my mouth.